Silence.
Turn it down.
Silent.
I'm happy about that.
Freaking Geminis are so freaking controlling. It's crazy. This is crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the Lab podcast series. I am your host, Marvel Bishop. Appreciate everybody listening, the viewership, the YouTube viewership, the SoundCloud listeners, everybody. Then what day is it?
Tuesday.
Okay, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Taco Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would like to introduce my new, well, I guess maybe half of them are new because we have somebody here that's already been here for the first episode.
Yeah.
But I would love for you guys to, starting from you, to talk about your first name, last name, your craft, or what you guys are into. And let's get started.
My name is Eric TenBrink. I am a e-commerce consultant. I am a drop shipping business owner, an online and in-person private trainer.
My name is Ramses Principe,
Fitness.
aka MIA Fitness, and I'm a personal trainer and online personal training as well. That's it.
Ladies, right? I'm Sharlia Lebreton Gali. I am a holistic personal trainer, herbalist, wellness cognoscente, and expanding now into sexual and intimacy wellness coaching.
So you got an event coming up,
I
right?
do with Jessie Wu this Saturday
Okay.
on sexual wellness.
Nice. So I brought you guys in here today because all three of you, even me, I have a small background in the fitness and health industry. I went to FIU for sports and fitness, but then, I dropped out. But that's besides the case.
Listen,
but,
that's a good thing.
I really want to get into like a lot of topics in the fitness and wellness realm when it comes to Miami, when it comes to just the nation in general. So let's just start it off. What is your overall opinion and perception on the view of today's fitness world?
I think it's very superficial. Fortunately and fortunately, right? Pros and cons. We have social media that has made fitness, wellness information more accessible than ever. But at the same time, we have a very superficial understanding of fitness as it relates to optimal health and wellness. I feel that the rise in wellness and fitness influencers has also given rise to kind of an irresponsible promotion of one kind of body type, getting it and achieving it by any means necessary. I'm speaking from a woman's perspective where, especially in Miami, there's a lot of cosmetic surgery and alterations and augmentations happening. There's a lot of focus on developing and creating an asymmetrical body type. And I think that, as more people that are in the wellness industry like ourselves come out and speak out and share more information and also kind of promote a holistic or wholesome approach to wellness for longevity, I feel that we will see a shift in culture. I think Miami will get it later because Miami kind of follows the coattails of, the other West Coast, East Coast areas.
So who's like the leading?
That can be argued between New York and LA, of course.
What do you guys think?
I think LA.
LA.
Yeah.
Sure,
Hey.
In the influencer fitness world.
Yeah. So I should have stayed in LA, right?
Maybe.
The last podcast we talked about how I was personal training in LA for free, just like because I loved it. And this was 7 years ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's become an actual life career now. So interesting. But what are your topics? What are your ideas on that?
Ramses, what do you think?
I forgot the question, to be honest.
It's fine. So,
dang, come on, Rams.
What is your view and perception of today's fitness industry?
I mean, I feel like it's very, like you said, it's all superficial. And that's one of the main things that I'm trying to show people is that there's more to that than just the way you look. You got to be comfortable in your skin more than anything. That's when you really find happiness that we're like trying to search for by being healthy and working out. You really got to find how to get comfortable with your skin, whether, I came to the conclusion that no matter how hard I train, I diet, I'm never going to be skinny. That's just the way my body is. And once I realized that, it really made me realize that there's more to this than just dieting and killing yourself. It's all about making it a lifestyle and showing others.
What standard do you think that we're trying to follow? Do you think it's like the European standard?
We're trying to find perfection. perfection.
I think we're on, I'll use the same word, the coattails of the Arnold era. And with that being said, I mean, especially as men in the fitness industry, we're trying to shift into the physique of Arnold, but nowadays it's much more slim and the more, sort of natural look, even though the majority of fitness people are not natural, that have the shredded six packs on social media or as Photoshop.
Right.
It's the reality of it.
Either one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you have anything else?
No, I mean, like you said, it's just trying to change people's mindset from just trying to fit this perfect image that we all see on social media and just being happy with yourself. At the end of the day, once you get that level of happiness, you can really forget about the rest.
So you guys being, fitness professionals, like what is your first step when it comes to that, as far as like trying to break that mold and trying to just get to your clients and say, hey, listen, like just, not necessarily like worry about like, the standard or whatever the standard is. Like, how do you guys approach your clients in that matter?
Mindset starts first, right? A lot of times there is an underlying motivation especially for women who want to lose weight. Specifically, I always get losing weight, toning up, and working on my butt. That's always it, right? And the deeper motivation behind that is often connected to an emotional desire for acceptance, for validation, for increasing confidence. And so the first step is kind of digging at the emotional aspect as to why, the physical body is the means that they are looking to express, searching for that validation. So I do a lot of work and coaching with emotional state and emotional health. And I think that's the first step, is really getting down to the root of what about your body is making you feel that there is a lack, that there is something that is not enough for you to accept yourself and be comfortable, because we all want to improve, right? We want to be faster, leaner, lifestyle fit, whatever it is. But if you were to never achieve whatever that goal is, say you want to run a sub 52 400 meter. I ran track in college. So, say you want to run that, but you never achieve it, but you've pushed yourself further than you've ever gone. You've been disciplined. You've developed healthy eating habits. You know how to journal and document, your intake, your workouts. You've learned all of these skills and kind of new tools. I feel that can oftentimes take the place of that destination goal that you're looking for. So getting to the emotional aspect is where I tend to coach people to start.
Yeah, what's your why is always the beginning question.
Yeah.
And that'll come through the client's tears, through their shakiness, through their turning red face or whatever that may be. And that's really what I found through online or in-person clients. And that really has to do with, honestly, any industry. What the reason you are emotionally disrupted every day, waking up, looking in the mirror, you should be happy, you should be thankful, you should be extremely proud of every time you look in the mirror who you are as a person. And I think for me, bringing across to any potential client that looking a certain way is not going to be that thing. It is more, as you were saying, the life coaching and the meditative state every day, waking up and actually being, happy that you can even get into the gym and waking up with stinking legs on, like different stuff like that is the reality, of the world we live in, especially here in the US. We're extremely blessed. So I think that, what is your why? That is the biggest and most important question for any industry, and especially fitness, because there's so many insecurities, especially now with social media. Yeah.
Mr. MIA?
I mean, they already said pretty much the main thing. It all just comes down to pretty much like they've been saying, just being self-confident and being happy with what you have and not expecting to compare the way you look to somebody else. Because at the end of the day, none of us are alike. You cannot expect everybody to look a certain way just because what you see on TV, Instagram, social media. It's all these women that get the same treatment, same surgeries, and at the end of the day, they all look the same. It's kind of scary nowadays.
It is very scary.
They all look the
so
same.
talk about that. How scary is it?
Yeah.
It's very scary. They all look the same. They all pose the same. They do the same filters. So it's like, who's who now? It's kind of hard nowadays to see who's real and who's not nowadays. It's really hard now.
Well, I'm going to touch on the first question. I never got around to answering that. I think the fitness industry is just very overdone with the fact that everything is repetitive. So the only people that are going to make it on YouTube, Instagram, specifically on Facebook probably as well, is somebody that is stepping into it, being more real than anybody else, and explaining why they are the way they are, with the most heartfelt sense and showing that through all their social expressions. And if they're not doing that, you will not succeed. Because the reality is there's just so much faking. I mean, we had this conversation right before this podcast that there's many online coaches that are showing pictures that are not even them. They're not even their clients and stuff like that. Yeah. It's the reality of the social realm right now, and being true and honest to who you are as a person and why you as a trainer want to see somebody transform their body has been my biggest reason I've been, in my opinion, successful coming here to Miami, because there's a lot of people that are here for the money. And the reality is that reasons. I'm stepping out of a drop shipping company that was making more money than anything I made in training, for the fact that I need fulfillment. I need to wake up and actually feel fulfilled. And, you know, seeing some of my clients cry to me when they're going through something painful in the beginning of their session, walking them out of that in a healthy manner emotionally, and then getting in the gym and killing it, just going at it. That is more fulfilling than anything else, you know, than traveling anywhere in the world or anything like that. None of that will bring overall fulfillment when you're, you know, laying on your deathbed, not to get crazy deep, but it's the reality that we live in. So
how do you guys really, this is more actually a question for you guys. As far, well, you're an influencer too, but they just have like a huge following basically. But well, it can be a question pretty much for everybody. How do you guys just differentiate yourselves from like the fake trainers and the real trainers, being you guys are like the real trainers? And how does that make you feel when, have you ever had experience where like a client basically got taken from a fake ass trainer? Like, how do you basically, I guess, combat that? And basically, you know, really just showing, you know, the world basically, hey, listen, like, you guys are the real trainers. You're the ones that are putting in the work. You guys have the information. You guys have done the research. Like,
I think it's pretty simple. Like you said, it's just about being yourself. People could catch that. You know, people always ask me like, oh, how did you build your following, this and that. At the end of the day, I've been myself. I speak myself. I show my followers who I am, what I believe, my thoughts, the struggles that I've been through. And that's what people notice, that they could see the real for the fake. Some people might not be able to see it and they get fooled for that, but mostly everybody with some kind of common sense will always see the real from the fake. And by you being yourself, that's what's really going to differentiate you. Like you said, at this point, there's 1,000,001 online trainers. We're all doing the exact same thing. We're all trying to reach the same amount of people. We're all trying to, the same city, same country. So it's really going to make me different than someone else's who I am. I cannot try to be someone that I'm not, because then people are gonna be able to notice that. So it's all about just being yourself, and that's what's gonna take you to the next level. You cannot expect to be doing the same thing everybody else is doing, because you're gonna be just another trainer. Find what's unique about yourself, and that, you know, that's gonna take you to the next level, and people are gonna realize that.
Yeah, I think one of my people who I really follow, he's like a commercial photographer. His name is Chase Jarvis, and it's actually very synonymous when it comes to like any other industry. It's not necessarily about being, you know, better. It's about being different. It's about being unique. It's about what you pretty much bring to the table. And when it comes to just your story and like how you pretty much got there, like, yes, everybody's doing the same thing, but how your story is pretty much differentiates yourself from the pack. So you were going to say something, Eric?
Yeah, I would just say not every client fits every trainer.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
So my main thing is, you know, everything I've said in this podcast so far is extremely into the emotions. Any client dealing with me is going to get emotionally real with me, period. And I've had clients leave because of that. And more so, I've had a lot more clients leave other trainers because they know that I'm like that. Because you will not achieve fast or long-lasting results without touching those emotions. And that is why I know that I do what I do well. And I'm going to bring results to anybody that is willing to be real with them and being able to be open with their life coach, with their trainer. And we are all the above.
Right.
So I just know that, and online, and you know, you're more online than I am, and I have some in-person clients especially that touch on those emotions, but even online, like, you got to be real, and the clients need to see your character, see your personality portrayed through social. And then also for me, I have one 15-minute phone call every week with every single online client just to touch on what they're dealing with personally in the gym, outside the gym, to make sure that they're going to consistently do what they need to do that I'm giving them. So yeah, I just think that not every client fits every trainer. I mean, a lot of his clients are not going to be able to deal with my demands and vice versa. It's just the reality.
I think that's actually pretty interesting that like even though you are like mainly online, you still have that one-on-one basis with your clients, and you have that 15-minute call. And I feel like there's I don't know if there is a disconnect, but it's becoming more of a disconnect with the trainers and the clients where like, hey, just go online and don't even bother me. I have all the information over there and you don't need to pretty much talk to me. I feel like that's definitely impersonal, and it's like you're not really doing it for the transformation of the client. You're just doing it for monetary reasons, you know? So do you want to touch upon that?
Oh, I mean, I kind of follow in the same line of thinking as you, Eric. Not every client is made for me in the same way. We're all unique. We have a unique perspective, and those that resonate with our message and our motivation, you know, will find you. And same thing, I've lost clients because they wanted the quick, give me my butt, you know, versus, well, what's going on where you feel you need to alter your body so much, specifically one area of your body so much, that you're willing to do anything? What is the emotional, you know, reason? And so for me, my clients that I work with, it's very hands-on. You know, I see them, we go out, not like for drinks or anything, but we go out, we talk. I schedule an hour conversation with them just because I only take on in person 12 clients at a time, because I want to be able to invest everything into them. And that's just my way of doing it, because I work with a lot of women. And so I'm not just dealing with the physical, I'm dealing with the emotional, I'm dealing with oftentimes sexual trauma and things around the entire body. So I can't take anyone just, you know. And I think that in building your platform or building, you know, any type of relationship, really, it is a question of how authentic you're willing to be with yourself, and how you demand others to show up and be authentic and free with you in order to get to that end goal and that connection. You know, that's how I feel.
How do you guys manage your clients' expectations? Like, I want to hear, like, you know, personal stories with you guys as far as like, you know, just trying to get through people's like clients' heads. Like, hey, listen, like you really can't do this because of, like, you know, your body type, whatever. Like, how do you manage clients' expectations?
So I have a questionnaire for online or in-person clients, because not every online client can deal with the in-person client demands and vice versa. So what that means is if you want to be an online client in getting trained by an online trainer, you have to have the motivation, the self-motivation to work out, to be able to get in the gym, put in the 12 reps on bench press and push it. You know what I mean? If you're not about to be till failure, you're not going to grow muscle at all. So the point is that then in-person clients, they just need motivation to get in the gym.
Right.
So the point is I make sure any client coming to me online, especially through Instagram, DMing me, whether in person or online coaching, I make sure to shoot them. I have 5 questions specifically that just walk them through where they realistically think they're at. And if I know that they need motivation just to get into the gym, because I'm not going to text them every single day checking in online that they're going to be going to the gym.
That's exhausting too, right?
Oh my God.
That's, I mean, and I mean, I have a few online clients. He has a lot more than I do, but you know, he can't sync and be on the phone every time scheduling out with every single online client. That's not possible. So so I make sure to have those questions already ready to go through my DM, and then I get them on a little quick phone call to basically I interview all my online clients to see if that we would be a good fit, and if they do, then perfect. Because again, not every client is made for you. So.
That's really good. Like you're really in it, you know, for transformation. Like you said, fulfillment. This is fulfilling for you. You know, so I think that's amazing that you get on the phone and you're interviewing and being honest. Like, hey, I might not be a good fit for you, you know, because of what you're looking for. I have a different approach. I think that's amazing. And it's something that I don't see a lot of online trainers or trainers, you know, in general doing, and being honest and saying, you're a better fit for maybe somebody that's more aligned with your values and kind of the approach. So, I mean, commending you on that.
Appreciate that.
That's actually a really good point. Ramses, I want to get your take and your experiences when it comes to, you know, managing clients' expectations and what you deal with as a trainer.
The way that I told each one of my clients, I'm gonna give you as much as you give me back. I'm not a babysitter. You're hiring me to teach you, guide you, show you the path, show you what you have to do. But at the end of the day, I'm not your babysitter. If you reach out to me 1,000,000 times a day, you have any questions, I'm going to answer you 1,000,000 times a day. I want you to ask me 1,000,000 times a day, but if you never, I reach out to my clients at least once a week, but it's their job. If they have a question every single day, it's their job. It's their responsibility. It's their body who are transforming. It's not my body. I did my work. I got to this point in my life through my consistency. So if they want to reach that level, it's on their end to put in the work. And as long as if they want to ask me 1,000,000 questions, I tell them, ask me as much as you want, because I know the more they ask me, the better results they're going to get. And at the end of the day, that's what my programs are for. I'm trying to show people how to live a healthy lifestyle. So I always tell them, don't be scared. Email me, send me DMs. When I get new clients, they're able to send me DMs. So most of the time, that's a little bit faster way to communicate than through emails. But I keep telling them, look, just keep sending your questions. Tell me any issues you have. I'm going to be here for you. I might not be able to hit you back right away, but give me an hour or so and I'll get back to you guys as possible. But as long as there's communication between the clients, they're going to reach the results that they want. And it's just going to make me feel better and make the company look better. So and that's what I see it. And it's kind of hard sometimes. Some of those people would expect you to be on them, behind them 24/7.
Yeah.
You're not hiring. I'm not your mom. You're not hiring me to be your mom.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. Like, and since I'm, you're talking already. Like, is there a fine line between like just really helping people and babying them through like the transformational process of like the workout? Like, like dive into that. Like, have you guys had any experiences like, whoa, like I'm not your fucking mom, I'm not your freaking dad. Like you need like, have you guys been through that before?
I mean, you bring out if somebody is very emotionally distraught very fast. Because when you break them down physically, that's where the real emotional side comes out. Right. And typically for me, I do an hour session in person, and then I typically program for my online clients an hour workout. I mean, you can do shorter, but it is what it is. So, I mean, the fact is that you're going to see if somebody's really emotionally hurting inside when they come to you and they just really need a friend.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have done 2 circumstances where I actually do like kind of health coach consulting, and, you were saying healthy lifestyle versus like, kind of a dictatorship. Right. Like, I have done that where like I'll schedule 3 calls a week to basically counsel them, also give them a fitness program and keep them motivated online, because I actually see that they like need kind of a friend to help them along the way. And I mean, kind of money shouldn't be the thing buying friends, but at the same time, if I do realize that this person needs help, I'm not going to, charge them a crazy amount of time just for, or a crazy amount of money for, a few calls. But, I have accepted clients like that and then tried to connect them with like, psychologists and stuff. But,
of course. You gotta like basically know when like
refer out.
Stops, because
I'm not,
you guys are professionals when it comes to obviously working out or whatever.
Exactly.
And obviously, the physical does absolutely tap into the mental.
I feel like we're life coaches sometimes. Like when it comes, especially once you start seeing a client like 2, 3, 4 times a week, that's your friend. You literally, you guys
seriously.
Like it becomes your friend. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Sharlia, you wanted to dive into anything?
No, I mean, it happens. You have to. I've had to be very clear with a client before, and she really wanted or expressed that she really wanted a transformation, and she was looking for X, Y, and Z. And I had to be very clear with my boundaries, my expectations, because she was crossing them. And I had to, I had to let her go and give her, out to the world and say, hey, we're not meant to work together because I have boundaries. And, I've been working with you and I've consistently given you opportunities, express that, and you've crossed them. And we're coaches, we're motivators, we're friends, but we are not emotional punching bags. We are not
firing clients is a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. People don't believe that. But
No,
it's a real thing.
It's real.
Yeah.
We can't, we're not here to absorb toxic energy. We're not here to kind of, take on and help you work out and unpack all of your issues emotionally. We can help and guide, but we have limits and we have boundaries and they have to be respected. So absolutely, I've communicated that and let people go. Had to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the name, but I used to have a client that I trained for 1.5 years here in Miami, who's an older gentleman who used to be a rock star and stuff like that, but he's heavy into alcoholism now. So I would go to his home, train his whole family, But I could not step into that place without just screaming, cursing.
Wow.
I saw a wine bottle get thrown across the room, different stuff. No physical abuse, because obviously that would have been different.
Right.
Would have had to be reported, but just so much verbal abuse that was and I was making upwards of $6,000 to $10,000 a month just from 5 people in a big mansion here in Miami.
Right.
More
But
money
not
than
worth
I
it.
personally at one time have ever seen. That was when I first started training.
Right.
And I had to step away from that, and that's when I was more so moving online into e-commerce and stuff. But I was getting counsel from my parents, who are both very, just wise, emotionally whole people, and they were basically saying, Eric, this is the time just to maturely step away from a crazy good financial situation when you know that every time you leave there, you are personally struggling to stay positive, and I am. Because I'm so just infused into their lives and wanting to help. But because of the level of money and then also the level of fame with this individual, he could not step away of himself, of his alcoholism, and look at me because I'm a younger guy. I'm 30 years younger than him, Right. And then obviously his wife and kids, same situation, because they were raised in that type of home. So yeah,
Damn.
firing clients.
That's a real thing too. I mean, getting into, not to jump and
go ahead.
But I mean, looking at health and wellness, right? We're health and wellness professionals. Oftentimes it's limited to the physical, and we've been combating that and pushing back on that in this podcast and conversation, that it's emotional. So you having experience with somebody who's kind of reached the pinnacle of having everything, right? Fame, money, travel, mansion, they have a personal trainer in home, et cetera, but the emotional body is still in pain, right? And so I think that brings up something that is often overlooked, but is coming into the foray of the conversation on wellness, is that the emotional body is just as important and oftentimes surpasses the physical body in terms of getting results and really getting into the lifestyle of health and wellness. So I just wanted to bring that up, I guess.
Definitely.
Y'all want to touch on that?
I think it's very important, because without the emotion, if you don't have your emotions put into it, you're not going to get the results that you want. So I feel like you said, it all starts actually with your emotions. What's your inner drive to push you to? If something's bothering you, you're not going to be able to get through your workout because you have something in the back of your head. You cannot focus on what you got to achieve in front of you. It's always going to be something behind you. So I feel like that's very important to have your emotions cleared up in order for you to get to the level where you want to get, not just in fitness, but in overall life, pretty much.
Yeah, and I think just hormonally, if you are not psychologically there, you won't be able to stay motivated in the gym. I mean, like us with testosterone and, women just with all the emotional stuff going on, the reality is that if you're not hormonally stable, you will not be able to get results in the gym. I mean, to be honest, we deal with the same stuff everybody else deals with. It's just whether we can master it faster or keep it consistent or whatever that is. I tell the listeners, I have a boot on, I have a fractured toe, and the reality is that the first 5 days, every day I went into the gym, I cut it about half an hour short. I was getting emotional every time because I'm used to feeling like an alpha male in the gym.
Right.
As a man, you feel that way every time you go into the gym, and you always want to feel that way. When this was going on, I was like, oh shit, what do I do? I can't just do curls and bench press every day and handstands, you know, and I like doing flips. I like jumping on boxes and all that different stuff. That's the way I work out. That's the way I teach people to work out, and especially the athletes that I train and have worked with. So, I had to reconfigure my daily routine and meditating, and January 1st I started doing a grateful jar, and I write a note every single night, put it in that grateful jar that completely reassess the way I do my day.
That's a really good practice.
And making sure to stay completely positive, even though, it's a small hiccup in life. I mean, it's stinking 8 weeks. I have this boot on. It's not a big deal compared to what other people deal with. But with my profession, it sucks.
Yeah.
With motivation through social media, I just started posting on Instagram 4 or 5 months ago, and it's been doing well, picking up. This sucks. I was just on a cruise with MIA Fitness, an influencer fitness cruise. All these people are freak athletes, cut up, all this different stuff. I'm the only dude on that boat with a boot.
How did that make you feel?
Really great talking point, kind of as a joke, but really insecure. Because I'm, a lot of the big social media figures online in fitness aren't impressive in person.
For real.
They're not.
Huge
So, I'm
right
6'2", 205 pounds. And more shredded up than a lot of the guys online. Not trying to
and then when you see
boost
them,
my bubble, but a lot of Yeah, like, I mean, I like Gymshark, but like a lot of their athletes are not impressive at all in person. They have great personalities, great social media presence, but there's nothing in person.
So we're kind of like at like a fork in the road. I don't know where to go
Yeah.
But fuck it, we're gonna do this. So how corrupt is this industry?
I think they can answer it.
Angles.
Supplements is a $1 million/billion industry that is not needed.
Absolutely.
It's not. It's not needed.
Let's talk about All right, we're talking about.
I take a multivitamin.
Yep.
And if I need it, echinacea and vitamin C when I'm feeling a little ill from lack of sleep. Right. I don't take a single supplement, and I'm a trainer. Supplement lines come to me, say they want to represent me, give me a code, all that stuff. I don't do it because why am I going to give them my clients or people that follow me or view me on YouTube, anything like that?
And why are you going to align yourself with something you don't personally practice and believe in?
Food is there for a reason. I mean, and even your daily well-being with caffeine and the Adderall addiction that's in today's society, it's the same thing. It's hormonally. What are you waking up? Are you smiling every morning? When you smile for 20 seconds or longer, hormones are released in your body that say wake up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like, are you doing those different daily meditative things that are going to align your body physically, that will give you energy, that will make you happy?
Right. So. Are you basically tapping into the resources within your body that are already present? Because I mean, taking nutrients, an isolated nutrient can potentially do more harm to your body than eating food. Right? There are chemical processes with our body and the communication between food that are not present if you take, a protein supplement. It's just not the same. And then also we have real issues of vitamin toxicity. We have real issues of people having cirrhosis of the liver because of, ridiculous amounts of protein that they're ingesting. The last podcast, I was talking about how I experienced myself when I was training for bodybuilding, acute liver failure from a fat burner because I was trying to metabolize fat that was not necessarily there other than what was needed for hormonal production, immunity, health, and for my overall life. And so a lot of people actually experience acute liver failure and you end up kind of poisoning yourself. I'm severely sensitive to caffeine at this point. I cannot really ingest caffeine anymore. And I posted it on my social media when I was in the process of what happens to my body when I drink caffeine. It leads to almost like a shutdown. And that's happening and people aren't talking about it. And so I think these supplement companies, we live in a hyper-capitalist society. That's just what it is, right? Sociopolitically speaking, money is the religion of the day, right? And so we have these supplement companies and we have influencers and we have, professionals that are trying to make their money, but oftentimes at the expense of real information that can be harmful for, people that are listening out there. And so I think it's very important that we get real about the reality of money, right? And health. There are people that, like you said, you were on a cruise and these people are not impressive, but they're making lots of money and they're giving out misinformation and they're contributing to this idea of a perfect and a perfectionist society, right? And it's not helping for anybody because we end up emotionally distraught and empty and unfulfilled and then physically damaged. Yeah. Like we're having real issues around fitness and health and wellness because of this skewed view of it,
I think that's why you can't speak to a lot of these people in person because they don't know how to. They don't know how to actually speak to somebody that is aware of their emotional self and that is whole or becoming whole. And a lot of these people that lie to their followers, lie to anyone like that. The reality is that they are not aware of how to look one of their clients in the eye and speak to them in a whole way, just for the fact that they've been lying since the start.
So it's deeply connected to like upholding a facade.
Yeah, because again, money's the key.
It is, but it's. I feel like we've gotten to this place where people are so afraid to be free within themselves that they're. I mean, we have the highest rates of anxiety and depression in any developed country. Why is that? I personally
social media
feel
that's
I think the grass is always greener. That's the societal expectation of anything that they're doing and preparing their next season 24. And
Yeah.
Gary Vee says it best. Like, look, if you're trying to make $1 million and you're working 20 hours, 6 days a week, and you hate life, step down, live in the dirt, and make $100K a year and be happy, be with your children and stuff. All these CEOs and stuff like that. And I'm going to go back to, the gentleman that I used to train that I was referencing in the story before.
Yeah.
He has no relationship with his kids.
Damn.
His wife blatantly is cheating on him in front of him.
Damn.
And it's known.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because this guy cannot deal with the fact that people quite literally worship him.
Oh, wow.
And
Jeez.
there's many things that are built off of this emotional facade that he lives his life on. And that's why alcohol has drowned his emotional state out. He can't look me in the eye, and I'm some 24-year-old kid. What do I know compared to a 70-year-old man? You know what I'm saying? So he should be able to look me in the eye and give me wisdom. But the reality is I'm 24, and I'm aware that I'm more whole than he is because of the joy that I wake up with. So,
I wanted to bring it back, but Ramses, I want
course.
to get your opinion on this, like how corrupt like this industry is when it comes to fitness and like your experiences with that. Like, talk to us.
I mean, I've been with a supplement company. I was there with them for years, so I've seen the back end to it, and it all just comes down to the supplement companies that just know how to market, how to get the right person to take a nice picture with a nice angle, sticking the hips to the side, whether it's a girl or a guy sucking it in and something. And it's just a selling point. And people, they see this person on social media that they see as a star, this person who they want to look like, and then they sell them a dream by telling them that, oh, I'm taking this fat burner and this is how I look. When deep down in reality, like you said, a lot of those people are on steroids and surgeries, women selling. My biggest issue is when I see a girl that you could clearly tell she had surgery. Her body's 100% not real, but she's out here selling workout programs. Like, you're selling a young girl, a girl who's 19, 20, that no matter what she does, she's never going to look like you.
Body.
No.
Unless
And then
she goes under the knife. Like
it
she
suffers.
Right.
It gives them depression. They get anxiety. They're like, oh, what am I doing wrong? I get these people all the time like, oh, I did this girl program and like, what am I doing wrong? I'm not looking like her, this and that. And it's just, and it all comes down to, again, it forces social media, makes people compare their body to someone else's body when you should really be happy with yourself.
And their life, really.
Yeah.
They just know a
you
good
start
surgeon.
comparing your lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys being, influential fitness people in this industry, what are you guys doing right now to pretty much like fight that battle when it comes to corruptness, and what steps are you guys taking in order to separate yourself from the koi pack? Sharlia.
Okay. Well, I approach myself as a work in progress all the time, right? I try every day to get to deeper levels of freedom within myself and authenticity within myself. And I share that. I'm transparent about my struggles. And also I educate myself. I'm an urban farmer. I grow food. I grow herbs, I grow medicine, and I learn about how to heal myself from the inside out. There's a connection between what we eat and our mental health. Your GI tract is your second brain, right? If your gut health is crazy and all over the place, your cognitive health is going to suffer. I talked about anxiety and depression earlier. These are very real things. People are living very low quality lives and oftentimes succumbing to taking their lives, out of anxiety, out of depression. And some of these can be alleviated through mindfulness, through spending time in solitude, through really learning yourself and approaching yourself with authenticity. So I approach it that way, and I coach others on doing that. My ethos is that in order to have a healthful life, you have to, one, remove any type of facade or preconceived notions about yourself and get real and start exactly where you are, uncover emotional traumas so that you can really start moving in a way that's authentic, that is life and joy, bearing for your life. That's it. And sharing that and educating when I can. I do workshops. I'm doing a a live event on Saturday on sexual trauma that is very, very connected to our bodies. We hold memories for women and for men. You hold memory and trauma in your bodies. And oftentimes I find and have found that the women that I have worked with that do want these augmentations, that do want surgery, have been victims of sexual trauma. And so there are a lot of things that are connected that need to be kind of flushed out in order to get to the root of moving forward to a life of wellness, past the physical body. So that's what I'm doing personally, just doing the work.
Ramses?
Just my main thing is showing people how to be yourself and be happy with what you have. Stop trying to, like I keep saying, just stop trying to look like somebody else that you're not going to be. At the end of the day, just be happy with what you have and give it your best and make this a lifestyle. Once you're able to make this a lifestyle, it's going to really show you that you could be happy with the way you look. So that's my main thing, just showing them, and then showing them as well that if I'm able to live a healthy lifestyle and still get through my day and enjoy it more than anything, not hate it, not make it a diet. I don't tell my clients, look, this is not a diet. A diet is a short-term result. If you really want to get this going for the rest of your life, you got to make it a lifestyle. So enjoy the process, believe in yourself, and just don't try to be like anybody else. That's what I try to show people who follow me, my clients. I try to teach them how to get that perspective in life and just get that mindset.
Eric?
Yeah, I mean, he said it best. It's a lifestyle. I know me personally, an actual example is through my Instagram story. That's the thing that I'm best able to day to day show everybody that really wants to follow me as a person and looks to me as an influence, looks to me as a friend or whatever it may be. Instagram story is the thing that I'm just tossing up every new place I go. It's up there. When I fractured my toe, oh my gosh, what happened? It's up there, right when I got my results, I put it up there. The very day-to-day things, if you actually are a client, you're going to for sure be looking at my stories because I'm going to reference them in some of my, emails to them or whatever. And then on top of that, if you're a friend, you're going to do it just like I do to, anyone in this room that's a friend or anyone out there. So I think that just as an example, again, for me, Instagram story, and then the feed's more very base, week by week stuff, or every few days I'll post. I'm not a posting every day type of guy. I know that's a debatable thing.
It's hard.
But on another note, so for me, Instagram story showing the ups, the downs, the struggles of what it means to be a trainer, an e-commerce guy, who I am as a person, what the day-to-day looks like is going to be on my story.
I think just for a person who's looking from the outside in, is just showing the level of vulnerability of who you are, not only as a trainer but also as a person. People who see you as who you are and just have that emotional connection to you, just kind of just unravels the doors of connectivity basically, and then people just buy you for you. I'll use you as an example, Eric. Many trainers that I know, to this day, not in this room, but that that actually had an injury like yourself would have been in the friggin' hole. They would just not do anything. They'll hide themselves. They would just because they feel like they have
it sucks.
No, it does suck. I know that.
Sucks.
But what I'm saying is that I'm extremely proud of you because you're showing the process of what it is when you do, become injured, when you're trying to, get rehab, that's just, it takes a level of humility, and just a sense of, just deconstructing your pride in order to do that. Yeah. So I really honor you for that, man, because there's 90% of the trainers that I know would not do what you're doing.
They're gonna post old content.
Exactly. And it happens, bro. I'm trying to tell you. So I really wanted to highlight on you.
I appreciate that.
That's one of the things that I feel like people just need to do.
It's so uncomfortable. Yeah. It's very uncomfortable when I say that because he can relate. You want to feel in the gym or online like the alpha man.
Yeah.
Any man that's in the fitness industry is going to want to say that. Whether, I mean, they're lying if they don't.
Yeah,
So it's just for me, like being on social media, I want to be, I am the athletestrainer.com. Like that's my brand.
I am D1.
You know what I mean? Like I'm chilling with pro athletes, I'm chilling with celebrities, with actresses, whatever it may be. Like it's just what I do. And that's a very, can be a cocky, prideful thing to state.
Yeah.
But I want to show the opposite side of like, hey, this is actually Eric, the real guy who's in that atmosphere, posting videos, you follow me like with, certain types of women and stuff like that. I mean, that's just kind of for a marketing thing, but I want to show my real, I want to show my personality behind it.
But for the people that definitely see like, like the fake, pseudo lifestyle, they will buy into that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, damn, like, this guy is is a freak athlete, but you know what? Like he gets injured. He's like me. So I can definitely, relatability is definitely like a key factor, I think, when it comes to the fitness industry.
I mean, in life,
in
especially
life
because
too.
like, we're humans still, right? Living in a very digital, like robotic kind of age, and you're in drop shipping and all of these things where you're not actually touching a physical commodity, right? You're just pushing it through. So it's like, how do we maintain the human connection, especially being that we work with people all the time in the age of the digital era, right? Where everything is social media, where you can scroll through and post old content as if you're still, 100% and still out there and doing all of this stuff. So I think like what you were talking about, you're showing the day to day, like it's so important, not just, as our career, or our brand, but to relate to each other. Yeah. Sitting in this room, like you starting this lab podcast, I always like commend you for it because it's so necessary. Definitely. Coming to Miami, I feel like this city is very disconnected. It's a very lonely city, and I'm coming from LA, which is saying a lot because that's a very lonely city. Yeah. But I think it's so necessary that we sit down and have conversations, and we have differing opinions, and we have different approaches, and that we talk about it, we flesh it out, that we maintain human connection while we're like kind of going through this and doing this life together. Because there's a lot that we don't understand. There's a lot that we're all learning. There's a lot that we're sharing. There's a lot that we're going through, and so, yeah.
Listen, I could talk for hours
I could talk forever
with you guys, man. But we definitely have to wrap up, man. Number one, I know you hate when I
hate when you rap because you bring
have
such
to go,
great
man.
people.
No one can see this, but she's actually tearing up right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I just
put the hat down. Put the hat down.
I'm sorry.
Cover it here.
Number one, thank you so much for everybody here.
Thank you.
I really feel like this is one of the more enlightening podcasts for me, especially for a person who has a little bit of a sports and fitness background. It's not really in it anymore, but it's really great to just have you guys as professionals in the industry, basically, to just share your story. So, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marvel.
Thanks for having us.